Okay, man, we'll start with you. Do you feel like players are too buddy-buddy nowadays?
Shit, yeah.
Good or bad for the game?
Horrible. Horrible.
Speak on it, OG. Stand on it.
It's just too, like, I get it, man, but it's, not when we cross them lines, man. And then I compete against you, man. I'm not hanging out with you. Like, we're not going to, unless we had prior relationship, friendship, some type of, to us getting into the NBA, and we're on separate team, two is too nice, man. Like, I understand, man, we don't want guys out there fighting and doing all this shit. I get that. But that's where, like, the competition that I always talk about, like the level of pride, you can't have that, I don't think, if I like you. Like, you lose some of that if I don't look at you as you're my enemy. Mm-hmm. If I don't look at you as that, I lose some of that competitive edge. Like, it's a pride thing for me. I just
can't foul him as hard as you want to,
or not even that. No. It ain't even about fouling you hard. It's about I'm not gonna compete as hard against somebody who I like, who you might like. I know people say it's the other way around. I think it's the total opposite of that. Especially they proven in this day and age. Mm-hmm. They respected each other, right? It's a level of respect. I ain't gotta be your friend or for us to have conversation and all that, but I respect you enough to go out. And I want your scalp, like white meat, every time we play. I never wanted for it to be a time where you say, I got the best of you. They didn't want for that ever to be a thing. You didn't want that. You didn't want, like, for somebody to be able to sit on this couch and be like, I bust your ass every time I saw you. Mm-hmm. Like, no, every time I saw you, we battled. That's the conversation. And that's what they talking about here. It's that. Like, it's our first time ever sitting down and have us. It was in 2 different conferences. Right. And like they played each other 4 times a year. Year in, year out, year in, year out. Like, no. They played on. So for this to be that just says a lot about their competitive drive and nature and the pride that they carry about the game and competing.
So you say you approached it different if they were your friends, but how was that approach with guys you respected versus guys you didn't care about?
I treat everybody the same, though.
Okay. So even if you respect them, they were getting
you don't get this work.
Okay. That's why I respect Norris, how do you feel about players nowadays being too buddy-buddy, good or bad for the league?
I think it's too buddy-buddy, you know, and I grew up more in this time, so I understand the players. Back then, you would never come across each other. Like Dirk and D-Wade would never come across each other as teenagers because one is from Germany, one is from Southside Chicago. So now guys with AAU, they see each other and they get, you know, friendships earlier than, you know, the old school guys. But I think, like Ken said, it's hard to play your hardest and give everything against a guy that you have some sort of feeling for. And it just is what it is. And I remember some of my high school rivals, we knew everybody in the city. You know, we all knew each other. And those were some of the most heated rivalries, but we wasn't buddy-buddy during the season. You know, that's off-season stuff. During the season, it's like, because I can't talk to you every day. I can't be cool with you and then go out there and have the type of attitude that I have for competition, because I'm a maniac when it comes to competition. Like, so I can't look at you like, oh, Gil, like, you know what I'm saying, I mess with you and then I got to play against you and give my absolute best. It's just, so I think that it is ruining the game. Like, we see a bunch of offense, but you score, I score, you score, I score. To me, ain't competition. It's you score and I'm trying to limit you from scoring. You know, that's competition. That's what OG talking about. And so now it's like, well, if you get 30 and I get 30, we go out, hang out together, and that's cool. That ain't cool, you know? So I think it is too buddy-buddy.
You talked about AAU a little bit. You know, back in the old school days, you might see guys 3-4 times a year, right? We've seen you at the big tournaments and at a camp. Other than that,
now you see them every week.
Now every weekend.
But just how many times in the league over the last, let's call it decade, right? That you've seen guys from other team attending people's wedding. Not their teammates, other guys from other team, pictures that they post on Instagram. Just think like over time, right? Mm-hmm. It's a thing.
You can't do that?
Huh?
You can't.
You're not going to no weddings.
It's the same thing. In your most intimate moment, right? My most intimate moment is
the wedding.
You and besides the birth of your children, that's the most intimate moment you can have, right? Is getting married, right? Sharing vibes, right? Mm-hmm. And you got a guy who that's just me, right?
Some guys
maybe I'm warped. Maybe my way of competition is warped or thinking that's just me, right?
I think it's an individual thing because some guys can do it, some guys can't. You know, I think as a whole, it is ruining our league. As a whole, I think.
As a whole, yeah.
But there are some guys, obviously, that can do it. Because I know when KD and Bron, they lace them up, they going at it. And I don't even know if they are really friends, but I know they cool, but they going at it. I know Draymond and Bron, when they play against each other, they going at it. But there's some other friendships out there where it's buddy-buddy ball out there. I get mine, you get yours, and it's cool. And that's the part I don't like.
NBA players too buddy-buddy nowadays.
I mean, as a whole, yes. And I think sometimes we see certain personalities. We see certain type of men, like Jordan and Barkley. You know, Magic and Bird, Magic and Isaiah, right? When they're friends and, you know, they enjoy each other. But when we watch the games, they look like real enemies, right? So we see those and we think that everyone can do it when it's just certain personalities that can do it.
True.
And I think that's why I said, you know, when you said as a whole, like Draymond's gonna fuck his best friends up, right? You know, he don't care. So he's not the type of dude that we have to worry about, like, he's trying to win for his team. So, you know, if he got to throw a grenade at LeBron James, he's throwing his grenade at LeBron James to protect Steph Curry and then be at LeBron James's party after. Be like, yeah, I know you lost 2 legs. I'm going to walk you around, goddammit. We're going to enjoy this. You know, he's that type of person. I don't think everyone,
most kings.
like, you know, Pat Bev, right? He's not one of those dudes that, you know, y'all gonna go to dinner and then later on, he gonna fuck you up. Just like Paul George. I mean, you know what I mean? Right? He's one of those. I think as a group, collectively, I don't see Joker and Luka dialing it down when they play against each other. They both trying to get the MVP. You know what I mean? So,
but still buddy-buddy when they see each other at all.
You know, you got about what?
It's a few guys that can do it.
But for the
by and large,
yeah.
No, you can't do that.
You can't trust them all.
No, you talked about MJ, one of the greatest competitors in the history of sports, but you also hear the stories about them playing cards with the Knicks till 4 or 5, 6 in the morning. But now as I hear those things, it wasn't as much friendship as like, I'm going to use whatever competitive advantage I can because I'm a dog. I can stay up till 8 in the morning, play a noon game, and still give y'all this work. But I know you guys can't do the same thing.
It's just like, you know, I mean, it's on that court, you know, how does your brain switch when you get in between them lines? And that's, like, you can see it from your teammates, man, like, you know, they best friends or they brothers, but, you know, you can see the difference when they step in that line and that facial expression changes, like, oh, shit, he in war mode.
You think about Kobe 2008 Olympics. I'm running right through Powell's chest. I don't care. It's my team. Like, you're not.
That's his brother for real.
That's his brother for real.
That's his brother for real. He ran right through him.
But I don't see that as much nowadays. So did you guys ever have to call out a teammate for being too friendly during a game? Or even just watching it and thinking like, come on, man, like.
I don't know.
Nah, because so I would have said something in real time, so it ain't nothing like.
And you don't remember saying it, right?
And it ain't nothing like I'm gonna hold on to it. No, it wasn't a big deal if something was said or if there was a situation. Nah, I don't. That's.
Yeah.
So we asked the chat, are players too buddy-buddy? 80% said yes. And I do feel like it diminishes the product, but like we talked about, these dudes see each other every week now. They play on 3-4 different, AAU squads. They bouncing around. Like, again, we were regional. We came up. You might read about you. We might hear stories, but we weren't seeing you week in and week out. And if we did see you, nobody was talking to each other. Obviously, we were on our side. You were on your side. It was what it was.
Like I think about like Melo and Bron. They on the boat together when Knicks played Miami. Shit. Melo going at his dome top, elbowing. He didn't give a fuck about none of that because LeBron in his way, right? That small forward first team, LeBron's in his way, right? When he talk about I need first team, right? No matter how best friends they are, this dude is in my way from getting first team. That means I have to accept second. Nah. I'm not just going second. So whenever time I see him, I'm trying to score 30 every single time. Melo was getting 30 every time he played Bron. You can just, everything else is just extra. And people don't realize that too. When it's in the same position, remember there's an end result, right? KD, LeBron, right? Only one can make first team. Right. So when they battle, that's the thing that they're thinking about.